Hey there, welcome to the REKAP Lunch Hour with Guff. Me, Ryan McGuffey, back in the REKAP studios here on a nice Thursday afternoon. Shota Imanaga's back. That's outstanding for the Cubs and the Cubs rotation and Cubs fans. First off, want to hit this, and of course, I will start off by saying this fine program brought to you by our fine partners at Hooters, originalhooters.com, going to one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. And for those of you who came to Hooters O'Hare last night, and I know who you are, the real Phil Sims, Jess, Mark, Matt, I know a ton of guys, ton of people, friends, family. We gave away tickets to the street race in person yesterday. And all of you who were on during the live stream, clearly it worked. The Cubs won 8-0, and we had a ton of fun. Everybody checking in from Hooters locations all over the country was absolutely fantastic. Eric, didn't see you there, but I know you were there in spirit. Great win by the Cubs last night. Showdown on the mound today. Let's get the series split today and move on to Houston this weekend. Regarding the Bulls pick, and I asked, did the Bulls disappoint yet again on draft night? Eric says time will tell. That the pick the Bulls made last night hopefully is the right decision and can help them win games this upcoming season. Thomas, hopefully Shota's not too rusty in his first game back, but if he is, I hope the Bats can do what they did last night. Yeah, I'm not expecting Imanaga to go deep into the game, but getting him back in the rotation, I think, signifies more than anything, because not having him the last 6-8 weeks has been a dagger to the rotation. Landon, the Bulls traded down 10 spots with the Lakers in exchange for cash. What are we doing here? I guess that Cashpia infusion doesn't apply to Jerry's basketball team. They needed more money so they could buy more Provasic. Yeah, Landon, good stuff. There's my guy. There he is. I got to meet the wonderful, well, I met her before, but it was good to see. I call her Queen Sims, the real Queen Sims, the better half of the real Phil Sims last night at Hooters. Phil, always good to see you. Spent some time chatting with Phil after the event. Took a picture. Really good stuff. Great night. Always happy to see you, Cap and Katie. Looking forward to the next one. Becky, Guff, you and Cap need to do more watch-alongs. I had fun. That was really fun. And it was fun to, in the moment, be like, oh, that ball's hit deep. Hope our players or umps don't get too overheated. It is warm outside, but it is summer. Cubs better take care of business today and in Houston over the weekend. Make the moves. Jed, after last night, makes perfect sense why the Bulls are hot garbage. Any truth in regards to them wanting to move Kobe or Lonzo? There's been a lot of talk about Kobe. Our guy, Joe Cowley, will be doing a live Bulls podcast at 2 p.m. We'll start promoting that here shortly, but a live Bulls podcast to kind of give, here's what's going on, grades, etc. But yeah, it was very disappointing in my opinion. I know that there is some upside. There is upside for the Bulls, but look, it's a lottery ticket anyway. Since Peterka was traded by Buffalo, will the Hawks work to make any moves before the draft tomorrow night? I hope so. I know my guy Kyle can't be happy. He's been all over this trade by Buffalo. I don't feel I looked at the trade this morning, and there's a lot of people out there who don't feel like the return was all that great for Buffalo, which he did get new paper out of the deal. I think he signed a 5-year, $7.7 million extension per year. So the salary cap kind of that came back to bite the Hawks because some teams had more wiggle room to spend. Hey, Godfather, can someone tell Ricketts that you can trade for a pitcher before the trade deadline? Remember Sutcliffe in June of '84? By the deadline, he had already won 6 games. Really good. I know it's 40 years ago, but these things happen. I mean, Sabathia was traded early. Pitchers can be traded early. Yes, facts and truth, Godfather. Lip, you were welcome, Cubs fans. I bet on the Cards last night and got smoked. Time to fade Lip. Ice cold. Hey, Guff's 5-13 in June. Okay. It has been a complete flip from May to June. So I feel like all the good stuff's coming. All the goodwill is coming in July. But man, oh man, I'm going to stay strong. I'm going to keep putting my head down, giving you bets, things that I research and like a lot. But was way off the over in the Tigers-A's game last night. Jess, thanks for a fun evening, Guff, and glad for a Cubs win to top it off. Let's see how Shota does today. Jess, so damn good to meet you in the flesh. Jess was sitting right across, her and her husband right across from us doing the broadcast last night. So it was really good to see Jess out in person. And now it's so much fun to have a face to a lot of the names here that I do really feel like I'm talking to you guys. Great meeting Jess and her husband last night, Phil. See what happens when the community comes together. Happy Thursday, Kyle. Yesterday's live feed was awesome. Cubs did amazing yesterday. Need more live streams. Take that, St. Louis. Great meeting you and your wife too, Phil. See what happens. Pablo, Bulls front office, just getting away with murder. They're killing all of their fans' patience. When will it end? Thanks for the show, bud. Appreciate you. Pablo, we missed you last night. I'd love to have been there, but I'm about 500 miles away, so we have a long-distance relationship. Hey, Wayne, I've had really good long-distance relationships in my life. Me and my wife, for quite some time in the early stages of our dating career, were long-distance, and we survived it. So you know what, Wayne? I think we can survive this too. Lip also just got done watching Etan Frondell highlights the Hawks pick. Probably I like what I see. I know that I believe Kyle is all over that same player. And I think Boyle, that was the guy he was all over last week when we were talking to him. David, who was at Hooters in Maryville, I believe, last night. Bulls front office once again proved they care nothing about winning. We're looking at another 39-win season. You're probably right. I do want to see what happens with some of these possible trades because that could change everything. AK just bought himself another project player. Don't know much about Noah, but apparently Stacey King really liked the selection. Hope you catch lightning in a bottle. I'm not saying it's a bad pick. When the pick was made, he was the number one pick on Jay Billis's board for whatever that's worth. Okay. But here's the thing. Like when I see KC Johnson last night tweet a quote from Bulls GM Mark Eversley, and this is the quote. We are in transition, says team has opportunities over next 18 months to significantly improve through draft and free agency, says they have financial flexibility in 2026 free agency. Other than the year, it's the same BS I keep feeling like we hear. It's little. We are in transition. We have flexibility. We can make moves through the draft and free agency. Not when you're picking mid rounds. Not when you don't have salary cap room to spend and add and make trades. You don't have the assets. You don't have the capital. And you don't have a plan. And that's what leads to quotes like I just read you. Godfather, I don't get this deadline thing. Make the freaking trade now. Do these games between now and deadline mean nothing? People, you got to have two to tango. Godfather, and are you willing to meet the price? Are you uncomfortable right now with the price of some of the guys you're going for? Will that price go down? We talked about Jacob deGrom last night on the live stream. He had a 1-hit, 7 innings last night. 1 hit. I'm telling you, man, he could be a prize. People saying the Bulls are one of the winners from the draft. I've seen both, Josh. Winners and grades are funny. It's like player comps to me. Looks like the Blackhawks may have a trade partner for their pick tomorrow. Pittsburgh apparently really wants Porter Martone. Well, that should be fun to watch. I'm glad the NHL draft is tomorrow. We've been talking a lot about it. Guff, do you have enough pull to get a Bears player as a sit-in guest? That would be awesome. Well, I will say that we do have Kevin Byard back on our channel this year. Kevin Byard will continue to do his show Intercepted with other players throughout the season. So we're excited to have KB back and have that player show with us because we learned a lot last year. I love the format. So KB will be with us. But yeah, Wayne, we will get Phil and I talked about this last night about other guests. I will continue to pound the pavement. And if you guys want me to get Cubs guys, I'll get Cap on the show. Obviously, we can get plenty. Let's continue to flush that out and figure out who we want on this show. Atomic, hello all. Hawks didn't have the pieces Buffalo wanted. They tried. Terry, is Jed being more in on Keller from the Pirates an availability thing? I've got to guess Alcantara is not only going to be pricey, but the Marlins are likely to hold out longer for max value. Well, look, you can't. Why can't you add both? I know you're going to take on like $50 million if you add Keller from the Pirates. Talked to Jess about him last night. They like the move. They like that addition. To me, I feel like I need more. He was an all-star in 2023. I feel like I need somebody that's going to make me go like this. The Cubs traded for who? After last night, I already put in a paper for AK and the Reinsdorfs to enter Will. Oh, jeez. Oh, Pete, Josh. Keller for pitching would be a nice, solid choice for the Cubs. Bednar requires work to get him up to snuff. If the Cubs have that kind of time, then fine, but I don't think it's a good idea. It was fun to watch Jess and her husband last night go back and forth on Bednar. He wants him. She doesn't. And Bednar, who's been really good at the back end of a bullpen, just hasn't been so for about 18 months. could be a nice piece if the Cubs were to add him with a Keller. I still want the Cubs to trade for somebody that we don't know about. Like, I don't want, all the noise yesterday was on Keller. I hope like everyone zigs, the Cubs zag. That's what I would love to see. Kyle, that's if Kyle Davidson wants to pull the trigger tomorrow night, about 24 hours until the NHL draft starts. Go Hawks. Kurt, let's go Jed. W. Cubs need a starter sooner than later, 100%. Phil, with injuries to Lillard, Tatum, Halliburton, how open do you feel the Eastern Conference is? Well, I can tell you, like, Orlando feels really strong that it's wide open, which is why they made a crazy trade with Memphis, dealing a lot of future number ones, because they're looking at the landscape saying, you tell me, I'll give you something crazy. Like the Sixers, once they shut down Embiid for the year, they went in, got a lottery pick, made the pick last night. I think the Sixers think that they have a shot to win the East, and why wouldn't they? You get everybody back and healthy on that team, I think the East is wide ass open. Oh boy. Which is infuriating in some ways that the Bulls are stuck in the middle. That's what the problem is. It's so infuriating. Like the Cavs, obviously, like if I were ranking the East right now, it's Cavs far and away the best team. The Pistons probably feel pretty good about themselves right now. I think the Magic, and I think the Sixers, and that's it. I mean, the Pacers, the Bucks, the Celtics, they'll still be good, but they'll not be like 55-win teams. While every single Chicago team with the Sox once sold having bright future, the Bulls are still staying the same. Exactly. Sabres are the White Sox of the NHL, says Lip. But at least they're in a town like Buffalo and not Chicago. Last night was awesome. If you guys do Hooters Joliet, I'm there. If we do Hooters Joliet, I think Godfather is also going to be there in the flesh. So Joliet's picking up some steam. Eli, the Bulls front office is just awful. I like to pick. But they have to trade Kobe, while Nikola Vucevic, they have to trade Lonzo, but they won't, because that means that the general manager, I think there's an extended comment here. Last night validates why Cap calls the Bulls the settlers. That's a really good comment there. Fire dropped another game. That makes 2 in a row. Still only 3 points out of a playoff spot. Get back on track. Fire, let's go. Kyle, 1-0. You like how I knew the score of that game last night? They came up just a little short. What are the comps to Noah? I will pull that up right now. I you know how, guys, I don't love player comps. Okay? I don't love. But Bleacher Report has a player comp on there. Now, Jonathan Wasserman, who's really well known, he had him number 4 on his draft board. Like, I think it's okay to be like, but be surprised, kind of like Modest last year. We didn't know. The Bulls went the same route, which is where they went non-college player. So here are the pro comparisons from Bleacher Report. Pascal Siakam. I mean, if he's Pascal Siakam, yes, please. Pascal Siakam. That'd be fantastic. I guess that's their player comp here. So if that's who they got, yes, please. Does Jed know how to tango? Someone better know. Hopefully he's got an active phone. Reinsdorf is in transition with the Sox and the Bulls. Don't want to bust open the wallet. Too much faith. I actually think the Sox are in a much healthier state right now than the Bulls. Think about that. We'll know if the Bulls actually have a plan if they trade Kobe, Vooch, and Lonzo. Godfather Davidson, please take Hagens. Don't try to outsmart everyone. Bubs, Guff, do you want the Bears to trade for a running back? Would you rather keep the assets? I'd rather keep the assets. Once Nick Chubb got picked up, I think you keep an eye on training camp, cuts, etc. I'm not really worried about the running back room like so many people seem to think they are. I'm not. I like DeAndre Swift, and I think in this offense he could be fine. Monangai, we don't know. I'm not going to go crazy that a 7th rounder is going to be a 1,300-yard rusher. We'll just see. Jimmy, so glad I quit following the Bulls years ago. The apathy is real. The Eastern Conference in the NBA is going to be so soft the Bulls will probably make the playoffs as a 7, and they'll hang their hat on that. Amen, Lip Ripper. Are the Bulls' issues due to salary cap issues? They're due to a lot of – I don't even know – they are in not the best cap health. They don't have a lot of future asset from picks-wise. And then they have a hard time matching money in terms with other teams for big trades. Wash, rinse, repeat. That's how I feel, Jimmy. For 30 years, they've been trying to do this since Jordan. The real Phil Simms is a smart guy. I can confirm that. Saw him last night. Loved seeing him. We love being at Hooters. And we're going to be back there again. We're going to be back there. And in the fall, we'll be there once a month. We'll be at different Hooters once a month doing our football show. I had the tender tacos last night. I'm giving you nothing but truth here. After the show was over, I ordered the tender tacos. What sauce do you think I got? Mango habanero. Yes, I did. And I had on the broadcast a blueberry lemonade, which is $8 the rest of the month. You got 4 days to race over and get the blueberry lemonade. It is really good, really refreshing. The bullet bourbon in there is sneaky, so be careful. I would recommend strongly, if you're going to consume at a Hooters, a Big Daddy mug, etc., please do it responsibly. Don't drive. Take an Uber. It's way better. Go have a Big Daddy mug. Go have the OG wings, the boneless wings, the hamburger, 11 to 3 everyday lunch specials, the shrimp platter with the fries, also great. You guys know how we finish off every meal. The cinnamon pretzel bites, the McGuffey staple. My daughter was at Hooters last night. My son was at Hooters last night. My son had the OG wings. You know my daughter had the tender tacos. You guys should know that by now. She had the tender tacos, and she walked out with some cinnamon pretzel bites. I saw her as on her way out. She waved, "See you, Daddy," and I saw what was under her forearm. DeGrom, man, DeGrom, that's all, says Swayze. Couldn't agree more. Clyde, why didn't the Bulls get the Chinese center that Portland got? You always ignore me, Ryan McGuffey. Funny. I always ignore you, yet I just read your comment, Clyde. What's the guy, I know who you're talking about, the 7'1" kid.
Yeah,
Hanson. Yeah. To me, they went with the most athletic player available. And I'm just, this is by what I read. I'm not going to tell you that I scouted the French leagues to find out if Noa Essengue was the right pick for the Chicago Bulls. They went with a ceiling pick. The kid's 18 years old. He doesn't turn 19 until December. I just read you the player comp of Pascal Siakam. Let's live in a world where the kid actually evolves to Siakam status. That's going to be 5, 6, 7 years from now. But if he takes those steps and he can grow with a guy like Modest, and somehow, some way, shape, or form, this front office could ever do enough to land a superstar. I mean, they all just got paid again. They all just got extended. For what? To go up there and tell you, we're in transition. We really like our draft stock and we got money clearing next year. Shut up. No one, patience. No one has it. It's the Chicago Bulls. Kurt, either go for it or don't just half-ass it down the middle, Jed. As long as we don't have another P-Will on our hands, I'll take it. Agreed. But we don't know. I actually would be stunned if the kid was a P-Will type. I like the thinking outside the box.
They just sold their second-round pick today.
I know. They sold their second-round pick for cash.
In the 55th. They got 55 back. They gave up 45 and got money.
Yeah, they got money to move down.
And I'm not huge on the pick they made.
Cap doesn't like Noa Essengue. I don't. That's why. Here's what I hear. They made the pick last night. Cap and I stayed at Hooters until the pick was made. We looked at each other. We literally just gave each other a look and was like, all right, you ready to go? Like, there is zero excitement.
It's the most meh pick you can make.
It's just, I hope, save the receipt. This will be on YouTube forever. It seems vanilla to me. I hope the kid goes out and he's a 5-time All-Star. I hope he's a 5-time All-Star. But you know what? When the back of your basketball card looks the exact same for the last 25 years as an organization, I kind of feel like I know what I'm talking about. Talk as Higgins might not go in the top 10, talking about the hockey draft tomorrow. Per Bleacher Nation, I heard Bregman, Alcantara, Suarez, Lugo, Gallen, Kelly, adding Bednar and Keller. Thoughts on those names, Guff, for the Cubs? Hey, that's it, Josh? Just those 7? I don't think the Cubs will add Alex Bregman. He's actually hasn't played a game in a month. Alcantara, I feel like until further notice, he's the guy. Eugenio Suarez, Cap would love the addition of him at third base. We talked about it last night on the live stream. We're just not getting enough from Matt Shaw. It's just There's just not enough there. Defensively, the kid's been good. You need more pop. There's just not been enough pop. And Suarez, in a hot day at Wrigley, we've seen what he's done against the Cubs in his career. Lugo for Kansas City would be great, but I don't know if Kansas City is willing to wave that white flag. Let me take a look. Kansas City right now, 4 games under. They've lost 4 straight. They're 3.5 out of the wild card in what's a very wide open wild card race. And the team last year went to the playoffs. Do they have what it takes to rally in the second half? I would say Kansas City, yes, more than Minnesota, who has the exact same record and are 2-8 their last 10. So I'd look more at Pablo Lopez, who's out also. A lot of injuries. Zach Gallen, go back and look. I think it's his last 9 starts. He has a 7.01 ERA. The Sox beat him up yesterday. He's trending the wrong way, and he's doing it quickly. I don't know about him. Kelly, different story. Bednar and Keller, those are the names that we heard yesterday. Keller's fine to me. I would prefer a guy that I'm plugging in game 1. I would love to know that I can go DeGrom, Shota. Then if you want to think about that, DeGrom, Shota, and then you go from there and mix and match your rotation. A Reinsdorf team has people upset. What a surprise, says Evie. Yeah, dead on. Yet the Bulls hand these front office bums extensions. Why? Because just it's more of the same. Mediocrity at its finest. Is a DeGrom trade an excuse not to re-sign Kyle Tucker? Absolutely not. They should not go hand in hand. Absolutely not. Kyle, saw NHL's and talks about a possible 84-game season in CBA. Not a fan. What do you say, Guff? This is the way leagues are, guys. They're adding games adds revenue to the owners. It's 2 extra games. Doesn't bother me all that much, but 2 extra games is an extra home game per team. That's more revenue. White Sox fans are so happy that Jerry isn't selling. Meanwhile, Bulls fans looking at God saying, why? All right, we got to end it. We got an Oscar De La Hoya interview coming up here. So a couple of orders of business here to knock out. We gave NASCAR Street Race reserve seats away last night, 2 pair to people who showed up in person. Was really cool to do that. We got 4 more pair of tickets to give away here, folks, in the next week plus. Next week, I do expect some NASCAR drivers to join the show. If you haven't checked it out yet last night, or yet on our channel, the interview Cap and I did yesterday with Joey Logano is available. Really good stuff. Very likable guy. It's easy to watch. It's a fun interview where we talk. The guy loves winning. I can tell you that. And there's nothing wrong with the guy who loves winning. The NASCAR Street Race is the only street race on the circuit, July 5th and 6th. Xfinity Series Saturday. Cup Series Sunday. Logano currently 10th in the standings. If you're wondering, you're scoring at home. Zach Brown Band playing Saturday in Grant Park. We have tickets that'll get you everywhere. It'll get you to the concert. It'll get you both races. Keep on listening to the Recap Lunch Hour, the Rush Hour, and all of our social channels as we give tickets away leading up to the race. Proud to partner with NASCAR all month long. Let's do the bet of the day. It's been a struggle, guys. June has not been nearly as kind as May. We know that, but you keep getting back up, having a cup of coffee, trying to find a way to win a bet. Okay, not a baseball game and a bet. Juan Soto since May 30th has the highest has the highest WRC plus in baseball. Do you know what he's doing this month? I could tell you what he's doing this month. Here's Juan Soto. 325, 485, 753. He's got an OPS of 1238. He has 25 hits, 10 of which are homers, 3 doubles, 23 walks, and 15 strikeouts. For all of the worry about Juan Soto, the Mets aren't worried right now. He looks like that dude again. Playing the Atlanta Braves tonight. I stayed away from the day games to give you guys more time to get your bets in. Juan Soto, 2 or more total bases tonight, plus 120 as we try to get back up to 500. Let's get through June. Let's get a winning week in the can here and get to the rest of June so we can turn the corner again in July. Juan Soto, 2 or more total bases. All right, a lot of comments I didn't get to, obviously, today. Clyde, just so we're clear, I put you up there, pal. I put you up there. And Dustin, lots of rumors going on with the Cubs and whatnot. If the Cubs were able to package Mitch Keller and David Bednar together, do you think it would be a good fit? It certainly would check off 2 needs. Are they the perfect guys? I'm not sure. I want a guy I can plug and play at the top of the rotation and a stud at the back end. Have a great day. It's another hot day. Get outside. Enjoy it. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. For everybody here at the Recap, we appreciate you guys greatly. We appreciate all of you who came out last night to Hooters O'Hare, and all of you, the 1,000 plus that were watching online. That was awesome. So it was fun to do a live stream, and I'm sure we'll have more of those in the future. We'd like to thank our partner, Hooters, originalhooters.com. Visit one of the 11 Chicagoland locations nearest you. Order.hooters.com. I love doing that, picking it up curbside. It's really easy. Check that out if you're ever trying to pick it up on the way home. There's 11 of them in Chicagoland, originalhooters.com. Have a great day. We will see you tomorrow for a Friday edition of the Recap Lunch Hour with Guff.